Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 267. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is the talented and beautiful Venus Leone. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, for people who want to know what the Keith Andrew Network is, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities that you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still amount to something. That labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and you should say to people, hey, this is who I am, and I'm going to show you I can still amount to something. With that being said, half hour, 45 minutes of your time, but the first thing I do want to start off with doing is I usually do this in the middle, but I want to do it in the beginning now. The first thing I want to promote is CelebrityVM.com. And I give you a perfect example. CelebrityVM.com is for actors, actresses, models, people like you, people for me, who are famous, becoming famous. You can ask anyone for a celebrity endorsement from Game of Thrones, Star Trek, Star Wars, WWE, anything and everything. Just go to CelebrityVM.com. And the second thing I'm going to promote is WooCrates.com. WooCrates.com has a lot of things people can sign up to. It has different things. It has a DX box, has the anime box. WWE's now part of it. So go to WooCrates.com. And now, starting off the show, what can you tell us about yourself?
I'm Venus Leone. I make music, I act, dance, teach languages, and live in LA. I'm from Switzerland, originally Italian. My mom is Brazilian, but I grew up in Italy and Switzerland, so I moved out here about 10 years ago. And I'm pursuing my dreams, my career, my talents, and just working out here in Los Angeles.
No, absolutely. Now, the first question, like I said, I asked you already. But going back to the first question, did you ever do any sports growing up? Going back to the first question. And the second one was, when you were in college, were you a study nerd or party animal?
If I was studying or?
Oh, the first one is going back to when you were talking about growing up. Did you do any sports? And the second one was, when you were in high school and college, were you a study nerd or party animal?
Oh, okay. All right. So the first one was if I did any sports. I've always danced ballet, so to me that's a sport. But I was not really the good sports kid. Like everything that was like in athletic way or like, playing in teams, I used to love to do it, but I wasn't in a team. And plus I grew up in Switzerland, so it doesn't really work like in the US. So there are no teams or something that you can join. So you do it all extracurricular. So besides classical ballet, I didn't really do much when I was a kid. Now, the second one was if I was a party animal, I wasn't allowed to. I had very strict parents. So I had to study, and if I had a B, it was like the end of the world. Like, my mom was like an Asian mom, but she's actually black. So she really wanted me to be studious, so I had to study. So even if I didn't want to, I became a nerd because you just have to, or you're in trouble. I was really scared that if I had a B or something like that, she would kill me, When you're a kid, you believe it. So, yeah, so I was actually a nerdy one.
So you never got the chance to do any sports?
No, not in a way. It's not like, as I said, like the U.S. works differently.
Right.
Like you can do stuff that is with the school. You join teams and stuff like that. We don't have that. We just had gym class. and extracurricular. So I used to play tennis when I was a kid, but I was so passionate about classical ballet that I tried to get my mom to give me more classes of ballet. And then out of school, I did studying English and studying other stuff. So I didn't do any sports. I wasn't in no team. I was just classical ballet to me as a sport. You know, it's in the Olympics, but it was dance. Dance was my thing.
Oh, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is going on to your career. Who influenced you to start your career, and how many years have you been doing it?
Oh my God. Okay. First of all, I've changed my life around 10 years ago. So I studied business. I went to school in Switzerland. I studied business, and I was working there. That was nothing I wanted to do. So I came over here. So inspiration-wise, I was inspired by big artists from Michael Jackson to, Michael Jackson had a big influence on me when I was a kid. But I was influenced by artists, like by musical artists, by maybe actors, but anyone that wanted to influence something in the world, I was with them. Like, I was like Martin Luther King fan and whatever fan, just to kind of like, I wanted to change the world. So anyone that made me feel like they did that, Maya Angelou and all these people, they definitely influenced and shaped me to become who I am now.
All right, well, while on that subject, what about me? Do you think I'm going to be in one of those categories?
I believe that anyone, you just I don't know why, but you just reminded me of Forrest Gump, not because of the difficulties, but for the fact that anyone that puts something in their mind and pursues it, you can do it. Now, I don't know what difficulties you have, what learning disabilities you have, but you definitely have talents, and definitely God puts you into this world with a purpose. I believe in that. So everyone has their purpose to pursue. So if you find your purpose, you will be successful in it, regardless. So no matter what you put in your head, if you pursue it and you stick to it and you keep working on it and you fall on your face, you get up, you keep going like kids. When we try to run a bike, we might fall on our faces. We have to get up.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So definitely anyone can do whatever they set to their mind. If you want to go to the moon, you just have to study a lot, but you can go to the moon.
All right, now for people about the next question I was going to ask you is for people who want to know, does social media have an impact on your career, and does it dictate on certain roles and certain parts that are given to you?
In the acting world, you mean? Like, yeah. as an artist? Yes, it does. It does matter today. I'm seeing more and more acting gigs that they request you to have like 10,000 followers on Instagram. Now, to me personally, that doesn't matter because my purpose is different. And so I don't care what is expected for me if it's not a divine expectation. But on an acting level, definitely. Now, I don't focus too much on acting. Like, I'm an actress, but my main thing is music. So my social media is definitely important for me to just get people to pay attention to me as an artist, as a musician, and to put my messages out there. If I want to motivate people, I like to tweet a lot of divine messages in a certain way to kind of like motivate people. So yeah, it does play a big part in our entertainment world and beyond.
No, absolutely. Now I'm gonna Well, actually, make this a special interview. I'm going to go back to the Green Book. Now, usually when I do the Green Book, the whole season 1, I was asking questions from the book. But it's actually, we're going to do something different. Because when I was doing the Green Book, I would ask about where do you stand on gay rights, where do you stand on the Second Amendment. But I'm going to ask you a couple words, and I want you to give me your opinion and how you feel about them.
Okay.
So the first one I'm going to ask you would be, I have so many words. Alright, the first one I'm going to ask you is define.
Define?
Yeah.
Okay, help me out. So just whatever comes to my head about this word?
I'll give you a perfect example. When someone says define, I would say, for a perfect example, I'm one of those people who define the odds. That, I have a learning disability.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, define, not define. Okay, define. Yeah, definitely define the odds. It's kind of difficult for me because it's like it's not a word that I use. So you kind of got me there because all I'm thinking of is kind of.
This one should define you. It's ambitious.
Okay, ambitious.
Yeah.
That's a different word that you're giving me. Okay, ambitious. What it means to me, that's what I'm going to talk about, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking me? Okay, ambitious. Well, I am an ambitious person. And what I am, it's a very important word in my world, totally the opposite of what you just gave me earlier, because my mom would constantly tell me, you have to have ambitions in life. You have to surround yourself with people that have ambitions. And at the time, I didn't really understand, and I constantly was like, yeah, whatever. But even if it's like someone with a life goal of like, I just want to get married and have kids and just take care of my family, you still have to have that ambition of wanting to take care of your family. So it's a very important word in our time.
No, absolutely. Don't mind me. That's had I shared a room and my brother was having a temper tantrum.
I actually have to carry you with me real quick to get my charger.
That's fine. Anything can happen live. But is there any words you want to throw at me? While we're on this tiny little game.
Well, this game I like it. So difficulty.
Okay. Well, difficulty for me would be accepting the fact that I am handicapped, I am retarded, that there's actually it's really funny you should use that word in difficulties. It's the fact I do not like to accept the facts that things are what they are. And I also find it very interesting, and also that the fact, I'm just trying to think on the go. Basically, I give you a perfect example. I had my biggest difficulties was the fact, for the longest time, I had a learning disability, and I was refusing to do anything. Because at the time, I was using it as a crutch. Because I was saying, okay, people label me as retarded, handicapped, and everything. So I'm going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to use it to my advantage.
Yes.
But recently, for the past 3 years, I decided to say, you know what? That's one obstacle that I'm going to show people I can still overcome obstacles and reach my goals in life. you know, and that goes back to ambitious, whatever. Yeah, I'm very ambitious about what I wanted. I take no for I do not take no for an answer. Define. I am defying the odds. You know, I created my own talk show. I'm defying stereotypes. I'm defying anything and everything that, you know, you want to throw at me. So that's defying. I'm ambitious. And difficulties is that I do not like to accepting things for the way they are. People like to put me in a box. People like to label me. People like to do whatever spins. So this is my way of saying, you know what? I'm going to show you I can still melt to something.
That you shouldn't accept anything that people throw at you just because. So I agree with you. Like that's actually the way you should be. I think that that's the way it should be, not accepting just the way things are, because the things are the way you see them. That's what I believe. And so if you don't accept things the way they are, or people tell you that they're supposed to be, because I mean, I'm from 10,000 miles away. If I had listened to people the way I was supposed to be, it's like they told me I was too black to be this. They told me that I would never be that. I would never be successful, including my own family, you know. So when you believe your own family, it's like your own flesh and blood that doesn't believe in you. So it doesn't, like, I think that IQ in itself is a very small, is a very small seed that is needed. You know, you might not have, you know, the learning ability of Einstein, and you might not understand all the complicated calculations or whatever, but you still have like a great intelligence and ability to change something for yourself, for the world. That no one can define that but you and the creator, you know, your universe. That's the only people that can tell you who you're going to be as your own mirror. So if you look in the mirror and that's what you see, then that's what you're going to be. But if you don't see that, or you don't want to accept that, then you will be who you define yourself to be, because then you will work on it. And that's where ambition comes in, because you have to have that ambition. You have to know that this is where you're going. And then it doesn't matter. Like, obviously, like, you can't fantasize and sit around. You know, it's not going to happen by sitting around and waiting for it to happen for you. But that doesn't happen for anyone. That doesn't matter. I'm sorry, my doggy wants to play. That doesn't matter if you're smart by stereotypical, or if they say that you're retarded, or any of that. I don't even accept that they tell me that my dog doesn't understand me. Like, she understands me very well, right, Mommy? Want to say hi? Come here. Hey!
Hey, doggy.
What's happening? Where's the what? Where's that coming from?
You know, it's very funny that you should say that dogs understand everything, because there's two animals, and this should defy everything. There's two animals that they CAT scanned, and they found out that they understand. I'll give you a perfect example. I think it was either a raven or it was a crow. Well, it was one of them. But this woman has it as a pet. Don't ask me why. But the woman had a pet, a raven or crow, whatever. It was a blackbird. I know that much. But she would talk to it, and it would make a noise, then repeat what she said.
Yeah.
And I saw that video after and saying, hey, I x-rayed my crow and my raven, and there's a thing in the head where it will translate what I say from blah, blah, blah to, do you understand? And recently I saw a dog video where they, I think it was a golden retriever. Yeah, golden retriever, they CAT scanned. And it's something in the head that they do understand. So like I've been saying, animals are furry little people. They understand everything.
Yeah, it's just not they don't react the same way as we do. Right. They don't react the same as we do, but again, like just because people say, scientists say, we're just people. We don't know better than anyone else. You know what I'm saying? So just because someone has a degree in something doesn't make them better than you. It's all about like what makes you. I think what makes you valuable in people's life is the way you treat them.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just, you know, we neither of us have privacy. You know, you have people talking in the background, and I had my brother having a.
My roommates are leaving right now, so they were just like saying bye.
I have my brother that's having a temper tantrum, pounding at the door. I hate sharing the room, and I told him I was doing my interview, and every time, I swear to God, it's like they purposely screw up my interviews for me. They know how important it is for me. They know I want to turn it into something, but it's constantly, what you doing? Open up. Or, it's time for dinner. It's like, do you guys purposely do this to screw with me? I'm like, this is why I need my own place.
You know what? It keeps the authenticity. It keeps the authenticity going. Like, you're a real person, you know? Like, this is real.
It's true.
This is real life. No, but to get back to what we were talking about, I think that you're right. Like, you can't let people just define who you are. You have to define who you are. And if that's not what you accept, then that's how it's going to be, and that's how it's supposed to be. Nobody can tell you what you're supposed to do. We're all supposed to breathe and die. That's it. You know, everything else is just morals and, you know, do you want to be good? Do you want to be bad? But it's still your choice. Do you want to be sitting around? Like, I've had people telling me, I will never dance again. I tore my ligament. Oh, you'll never dance again. I tore this. You'll never dance again. I just had a car accident. Oh, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You know, lay down. And you just defy the odds, you know, and you prove to yourself that you're better, because people always go by the past, by numbers, statistics. If it's not them, they're happy for you if you don't succeed further than them, you know. So that's just being human. So it doesn't matter if you're smart or dumb or what the stamp is that some people put on you. All that matters is who you see in the mirror and who you want to be in the mirror. That's it.
No, absolutely. You just reminded me of something. My brother said to me a while ago when I was working in another store. We're in the car and he whispers to me, "I'm very proud of you. You didn't get fired yet." And I'm like, really? You know, we're just talking about my talk show and all you're gonna say is, "Hey, good job on your retail job." It's kind of like, you know what? This is why it's more, I don't mean to bitch to you, I apologize. It's just, it's more motivation to say to people, I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to still amount to something. You know, I want to do this until I die. Not this, being in the room. I want, you know, to travel. I want to have a fan base. I want to be well known. And the same thing with you. You're an actress. You want to be on the Emmys, the Oscars. And it doesn't matter what your people say or criticize you or whatever they want to throw at you. Basically, you know, sum this up. We're I can't talk. We're basically like the same person. We all start from the same thing. We start from the bottom, and you're climbing that ladder. You're taking one step and then the next. And my family thinks this is a joke. What you said, your family was all about criticizing you and say this is not realistic. Basically, you should use all that negativity to say, I'm going to use it as ammunition. I'm going to turn myself into a better human being. I recently had my dad say to me yesterday, he said to me, you're doing your talk show and you're helping people, and I want your honest opinion. He said to me, you're doing your talk show. How is it that you're helping people? How is it you're helping people with disabilities and learning disabilities? What exactly are you doing? So, you're a guest on my talk show, and you're the first person I'm going to access to. What is your honest opinion of me and the talk show?
Well, that kind of flows into actually a question that I was going to ask you, which is basically, what is your purpose with it? Because at the end of the day, it's like, even me, if I just dreamt of having an Oscar, I would probably not make it, because that's just an award that is given to you after you've worked so hard, and because it's an acknowledgement. When somebody gives you an award, it's an acknowledgement that you've worked so hard for this, and this is such a great project that it deserves an award, So I don't live for awards. My reward, in my opinion, is when somebody calls me and says, Venus, you've changed my life with that one sentence that you gave me, or that one thing you said, or that song that you wrote, or, I want people to get to the next level spiritually, mentally. So that's my purpose. And so I feel like when I die, I want to look back and remember all the people that may have shaken my hand or whatever, to be like, you helped me, Now in what, then it's the next level. So I think that it's all about what you're going to do with it and how you're building this up. As you said, it just started. You just started doing this. You're doing talk shows. You're hitting people up. You're actually doing the groundwork for it. You're constantly on it, and I see you do it. That's inspiring in itself. So I would tell that to your dad. The consistency, the dedication is what inspires people. Because there is this other guy, I can't say a name, but he's always hustling in this town. He's not really, in my opinion, he's not talented, not because he's not talented, because he doesn't work on what he actually wants to succeed in. And you have to work on it. So if you see yourself as a talk show host, I think that you have started with doing the legwork. You've started with contacting people, hitting artists up, hitting people up that are actually successful with what they do. And you interview them. And in that conversation, you take something out of it and they take something out of it. That's how you're helping people, right? It doesn't matter people with disability, it's people. So this is the answer that you want to give your dad. Through every time you're talking to someone, you're giving something to them.
Right.
And maybe to the people that are watching, Someone that is watching might have needed that one word or whatever. You might have 2 fans. You can, like Jesus had 12 followers, okay? Look at where he's at now. So it doesn't matter where you're at now. What matters is the legwork that you're going to put in. And when you're willing to put that legwork in, people will follow you. Regardless of you're smart, pretty, cute, this, that, it doesn't matter. What people care about is what inspires them. And just someone getting up and doing the legwork is inspiring. Someone getting away from their TV, their entertainment, their video game, and doing something that they have a passion for, that's inspiring for anyone. So you are inspiring for anyone, because when I'm watching you, like you're hitting me up, then you hit me up again, then you hit me up again. That's consistency. And then eventually you got your interview in. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just busy, you know? So it's like eventually you got it in. So here you go. You're consistent. You get what you want. Now, maybe, you know, you'll raise money or whatever, and then you'll get a nice little office or a nice little, even a backdrop. You're upgrading your view. Maybe someone wants to come and actually meet you in your studio. Now you're upgrading. But without the consistency, without sitting there and every day give it, and sometimes somebody will be rude to you and say something to you that you don't want to hear. Well, good, that's them. And don't forget that people will say to you what they see in the mirror. So someone that says to you, you're a retard or whatever, they probably are. You know, they probably don't believe that they are smart, because they wouldn't. Someone that doesn't see that in themselves, they don't see that in other people. You know, so most of the time people are talking to themselves when they're being rude. So don't bother about people wondering what you're doing or whatever, because they're wondering because they're not doing something for themselves. And I'm sorry, like, I don't mean to offend your dad. I'm sure your dad is a good dad, but maybe he's not doing something for himself, so he has to be all up in your business. Because if he was doing something for himself, he would be like, good job, son. Do this, son. Here's a backdrop for you, son. Like, I'm going to lock the door now so nobody goes in, son. That's someone that is actually doing something for themselves. They want to help others. Make sense? So don't worry about what people wonder about. That's good. That's good that they wonder what you're doing, because that means you're doing something right. The more people talk, excuse my French, the more people talk shit, the more you're doing something right.
Hey, it's uncensored. You can say whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want, as long as you get up and do it. You're not sitting in front of the TV. So you'll be successful with it because you're consistent. And then in your consistency, you'll find ways to learn and evolve and build your talk show, and maybe go in a different direction and have a talk show maybe with topics that, you know, Oprah did talk shows. Look, she's one of the richest women in the world. Maybe her IQ is at 70. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. You don't know if Oprah is not good with numbers, or, you know. But just the consistency gets you there.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up, was there any subjects you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote? Are you on social media? Well,
first of all, I'm on... I just heard from a 12-year-old that Facebook is old. I have no idea what's the next Facebook, but I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So follow me, Venus Leone, Leone, lion in Italian. I want to promote that, not just to promote my thing, but that's what I talk about all the time. And I also try to inspire people or motivate people. And I think it's important for our humanity to be motivated to do their own thing. So keep doing what you're doing. So that's what I want to promote. Follow me. Be part of my movement. Coffee. Of trying to change the world for a better, trying to change people's life. That's what I live for. I don't want to see any more war in the world. So I don't really want to promote anything but that. Like, just love. 420 in itself is 420 hertz is actually the perfect A, the frequency of love. It has nothing to do with smoking weed. So I promote that. Like, I want people to fall in love again, fall in love with our earth, be in tune with it. So if they feel it, if your followers feel it, anyone watching right now feels it, follow me, Venus Leone, follow each other, and let's create this movement of love.
No, wrapping up I completely agree with you. Now, wrapping up our talk show segment is I do have a couple questions for you after the show, so stay with us. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest on my talk show, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.